Oh, there's a lot of spice in that.
Hey YouTube, it's me, Brianna. So I'm finally all moved back to Atlanta, which means I can get back to vlogging and posting blogs on a regular basis, which is great because I feel like I haven't done anything for about a month now, and that's not a great feeling for me. Anyway, today I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about a little thing I like to call the comparison trap, how you can avoid it, why it's a problem, and why even I suffer from it. This vlog was inspired in part by my good friend Brett Michael Orr, as well as my own personal experiences. When I use the phrase the comparison trap, what I'm referring to is writers' tendency to compare their work to the works of other writers, published or not. Writers of almost any skill level or experience level can fall into the comparison trap, which is why it helps to be able to know how to get yourself out of it. The first step to getting out of the comparison trap involves recognizing negative behavior. Whenever you find yourself comparing your work to the work of others, take a step back, stop, and reevaluate what's going on. What makes the comparison trap so dangerous is that we often compare our first draft to someone else's final product. Oftentimes, we fail to understand and appreciate the amount of effort that goes into a piece of writing, especially one that isn't our own. This means we may overlook important parts of the writing and publication process, such as copy editing and line editing. Next time you find yourself comparing your work to someone else's, keep in mind that there are several steps between first drafting and final publication, and that no matter what draft your current work is in, it will probably not be as rough in the end as it is now. Do yourself a favor and try to avoid the comparison trap at all costs. It's okay to set goals, especially daily writing goals, but at the end of the day, remember that you should be competing against yourself, not against other writers. The best way to grow in your writing career is to constantly strive to do better than you did the day before, to constantly achieve your personal best, not to match someone else's. Focusing inward on what you personally can control as a writer, rather than focusing outward on what you can't, is the best way to ensure overall contentment with the progress of your writing life. And the worst part about the comparison trap is that it never really goes away. For example, even though I know how to get myself out of it, that doesn't mean I can easily avoid falling into it in the first place. Even now, in spite of everything I've learned and how far I've come as a writer, I still have days where I find myself looking down at a published book and then looking at my second or third edit and thinking there's no way I'll ever be as good as anyone who's out there right now. Even though I know it's problematic thinking, that doesn't mean it's easy to avoid. Still, by focusing on my personal progress and my own writing goals, I am usually able to pull myself out of my slump and keep writing no matter what. That's all I have for today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I especially want to thank my Patreon patron, Brett Michael Orr, who has pledged a surprising amount of money for me to continue putting up these videos. So, yeah, if you are liking these videos, definitely recommend you pledging $1 or more a month on Patreon so that I can afford to buy fancy things like this new tripod I have, which is why this video has been so incredibly stable, because before I was just propping it up on my laptop. Yeah. As always, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and thumbs up this video if you found it helpful, and let me know in the comments what tips you guys have for avoiding comparing your work to someone else's. Thanks! Why is there so much spice in that? What is going on?